There's something I've noticed after talking to hundreds of retirees over the years. Many of them make the same big mistake, and it's not until it's too late that they realize just how much it's cost them. And I'm not just talking about money, though that's a huge part of it. I'm talking about peace of mind, security, and the ability to enjoy those golden years without constantly worrying about running out of cash. So today I want to talk about the #1 retirement mistake that leaves seniors broke, and more importantly, how you can avoid it. Because here's the truth. Retirement should be a time of relaxation, adventure, and enjoying the fruits of a lifetime of hard work. But for too many people, it turns into a financial tightrope walk, where one wrong step can lead to disaster. Now, you might be thinking, well, I've saved up, I've got my pension or Social Security, I should be fine, right? And that's a great start. But the mistake I'm talking about isn't about how much you've saved. It's about what you do with that money once you're no longer working. Because even people with sizable nest eggs can find themselves in trouble if they don't handle things the right way. So, what is this big mistake? It's failing to plan for the unexpected. And I don't just mean emergencies like a broken furnace or a sudden medical bill, though those are important. I'm talking about the slow, sneaky things that eat away at your savings without you even noticing. Things like inflation, rising healthcare costs, or even well-meaning but expensive financial advice that doesn't actually serve your best interests. Let's break this down. The first thing you need to understand is that retirement isn't a static phase of life. Your expenses today won't be the same in 10 or 20 years. And if you're not adjusting for that, you could wake up one day and realize your money isn't stretching as far as it used to. Take healthcare, for example. Studies show that the average couple retiring today will need around $300,000 just to cover medical expenses in retirement, and that doesn't even include long-term care. Now, Medicare helps, but it doesn't cover everything. And if you're not factoring in those costs, you could be in for a nasty surprise down the road. Then there's inflation. You remember how a gallon of milk used to cost $1 or $2? Now it's double or even triple that in some places. Prices go up over time, that's just how it works. But if your income isn't keeping pace, you'll feel the squeeze more and more each year. So how do you avoid this? The first step is to stop assuming your current savings will be enough forever. You need a plan that accounts for rising costs, unexpected expenses, and the reality that you might live longer than you think. And that brings me to the second big mistake, underestimating your lifespan. These days people are living longer than ever. That's a wonderful thing. But it also means your retirement savings have to last longer. If you retire at 65 and only plan for 20 years, but you live to 90 or beyond, you could find yourself in a very tough spot. The good news: there are simple, practical ways to protect yourself from these risks, and we'll talk about those next. Because once you understand the pitfalls, you can start taking steps today to make sure your retirement is as secure and enjoyable as possible. So, let's keep going. Because the sooner you address these challenges, the better off you'll be. And trust me, your future self will thank you. Now that we've talked about why so many retirees run into financial trouble, unexpected costs, inflation, and underestimating how long their money needs to last, let's get into the real solutions, because knowing the problem is only half the battle. The other half is taking action to make sure you don't become another cautionary tale. The first thing you can do, and this is absolutely crucial, is to rethink your withdrawals. You've probably heard of the 4% rule, where retirees take out 4% of their savings each year, adjusting for inflation. That rule worked well for past generations, but today's retirees face different challenges: lower interest rates, higher healthcare costs, and longer lifespans. If you blindly follow that rule without considering your personal situation, you could drain your savings too fast. Instead, think of your withdrawals like a thermostat. You adjust them based on how the economy is doing. In good years, when your investments grow, you might take out a little more. In bad years, like during a market downturn, you tighten things up. This flexible approach helps protect your nest egg from market swings. Now, the second strategy is just as important: diversify your income streams. relying only on Social Security or a pension is risky. What if inflation eats away at your buying power? What if unexpected expenses pop up? You need multiple sources of income to stay secure. One of the best ways to do this is with annuities, specifically an immediate or deferred income annuity. Now, I know annuities get a bad rap sometimes, and for good reason. Some of them come with high fees or restrictive terms. But the right annuity can act like a personal pension, guaranteeing you a steady paycheck for life, no matter how long you live. That kind of security takes a huge weight off your shoulders. Another smart move: delay Social Security if you can. Every year you wait past your full retirement age up to age 70, your benefit grows by about 8%. That's a guaranteed return you won't find anywhere else. If you're healthy and expect to live a long life, waiting can mean thousands more per year for the rest of your life. Now let's talk about healthcare costs, because this is where so many retirees get blindsided. Medicare is a lifesaver, but it doesn't cover everything. Dental, vision, hearing aids, and long-term care are all big expenses that come out of pocket. That's why a Medicare supplement plan, Medigap, or a Medicare Advantage plan can be a game changer. They help cover those gaps so a single hospital stay doesn't wipe out your savings. And speaking of long-term care, this is the elephant in the room. Nearly 70% of seniors will need some form of long-term care in their lifetime, and it's expensive. We're talking $5,000 to $10,000 a month for a nursing home. Most people think Medicare covers it, but it doesn't, not for the long term. That's why looking into long-term care insurance or a hybrid life insurance policy with a long-term care rider is so important. Yes, it's an extra cost now, but it could save you from financial disaster later. Finally, let's talk about taxes. Many retirees don't realize that withdrawals from 401ks and traditional IRAs are taxed as ordinary income. If you're not careful, you could end up in a higher tax bracket than you expected, leaving you with less money than you planned. One way to avoid this: Roth conversions. By converting some of your traditional IRA funds to a Roth IRA and paying the taxes now, you can enjoy tax-free withdrawals later. It's a smart move if you expect taxes to rise in the future, or if you want to leave more to your heirs tax-free. Now, I know this is a lot to think about, but here's the good news: you don't have to figure it all out alone. A fiduciary financial advisor, someone legally required to act in your best interest, can help you create a personalized plan. Just be careful, not all advisors are fiduciaries, and some make money by selling you products you don't need. Always ask how they're compensated before working with them. So, to recap, adjust your withdrawals based on the economy, create multiple income streams, plan for healthcare and long-term care, and be smart about taxes. These steps can make the difference between a retirement filled with worry and one filled with freedom. But we're not done yet, because there's one more critical mistake that can derail even the best laid plans, and it's something most people don't see coming until it's too late. You've worked hard your whole life, you've saved, you've planned, and you've made smart decisions to protect your retirement. But there's one thing that can undo all of that preparation, and it doesn't come from the stock market, inflation, or rising healthcare costs. It comes from within. I'm talking about the emotional spending traps that catch so many retirees off guard. These aren't just little splurges here and there, they're the kind of financial decisions that can drain your savings before you even realize what's happening. Let me give you an example. Many retirees, especially in the early years of retirement, fall into what I call the "I've earned this" mindset. After decades of discipline, they finally have time and freedom, so they start treating themselves. A nicer car, more frequent vacations, helping adult children or grandkids with big expenses. And there's nothing wrong with enjoying your money, that's what it's there for. But without clear boundaries, that mindset can lead to overspending that's hard to reverse. Then there's the guilt factor. Maybe your kids are struggling with student loans, or your grandkids need help with college tuition. You want to support them, and that's natural. But here's the hard truth: you can't set yourself on fire to keep others warm. If helping your family now means you'll run out of money later, no one wins. The best thing you can do for your loved ones is make sure you're financially secure first. And let's not forget loneliness and boredom. For some retirees, shopping, dining out, or taking trips becomes a way to fill the void left by work. But those expenses add up fast. A better approach? Find fulfilling, low-cost ways to stay engaged, volunteering, joining a club, or even part-time work in something you love. Not only does this save money, but it keeps you active and connected, which is just as important for a happy retirement. So how do you avoid these emotional traps? Set clear spending rules for yourself. Decide ahead of time how much you'll allocate for fun, for family help, and for daily living, and stick to it. A great trick is the 3-day rule for big purchases. Wait 3 days before buying anything over a certain amount. Often you'll realize you don't really need it. Now, let's talk about something equally important: your legacy. Many people want to leave something behind for their family, but they worry that doing so will jeopardize their own security. The good news: with smart planning, you can do both. One of the best ways is through strategic gifting. Instead of giving large lump sums, which could hurt your finances, consider smaller, regular gifts that fit within your budget. The IRS allows you to give up to $18,000 per year in 2024 to any person without triggering gift taxes. That means you can help family now while keeping your savings intact. Another powerful tool: life insurance. A well-structured policy can provide tax-free money to your heirs while also offering living benefits, like cash value you can borrow against if needed. Just be sure to work with a trusted advisor. Some policies are better than others. And if leaving a charitable legacy matters to you, look into donor-advised funds or charitable remainder trusts. These let you support causes you care about while also getting tax benefits during your lifetime. Finally, don't forget the most important legacy of all: your wisdom. Sit down with your family and share your financial lessons, the mistakes, the successes, and the values behind your decisions. That kind of guidance is priceless. Bringing it all together, retirement should be a time of joy, not stress. By now you know the biggest mistakes: failing to plan for the unexpected, underestimating costs, and letting emotions drive spending, and more importantly, how to avoid them. Remember, adjust withdrawals flexibly. Don't just follow old rules blindly. Diversify your income with annuities, delayed Social Security, and smart investments. Prepare for healthcare and taxes. They're bigger expenses than most people realize. Set spending boundaries so emotions don't derail your plans. Leave a legacy wisely without sacrificing your own security. Small steps today can prevent big problems tomorrow. You've earned this chapter of your life. Now go enjoy it with confidence. If this resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. What's your biggest retirement worry? What strategies have worked for you? And if you found this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more tips to make retirement your best years yet. Here's to your financial peace of mind and the freedom to live retirement on your terms. Cheers.